When one is horrible, it means that there is nothing that is objectively good and progressive that will come out of such individual.
If you have been convicted of an offense before and you have been pardoned, and anybody is trying to bring that up against you and calling you a convict, you have the power to sue that person for defamation.
Justice must not only be done, but it must be seen by all to have been manifestly done.
Every citizen has a right and every citizen has an obligation.
That a plea of ultra-virus acquit or convict is very different from the plea of pardon.
Trespass is that act that interferes with the peaceful.
No matter how minute this,
right? No matter how minute.
He who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Hello out there, you are welcome to another fresh episode of the program Justify Nigeria on ACNN television, reaching you from Abuja. On today's episode, our subject of focus will be the hierarchy of courts in Nigeria. My name is Anozie Chinomso, your anchor. It is evident and sacrosanct that the Nigerian legal system does not support or give room to a single court system. Consequently, courts in the Federation are structured in a hierarchical order. The hierarchy of courts in Nigeria is very important because it determines the kind of matters that can be brought before any court. Take for instance, matters concerning land and women inheritance rights cannot be brought under the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court because these kinds of matters are under the original jurisdiction of customary courts. How then can we comprehensively explain the hierarchy of courts in Nigeria? What are the names of these courts? What happens when a matter is in a wrong court? How and when can we say that court is properly constituted? With me in the studio to address all this is Barrister C.A. Ogedembe. He is a private legal practitioner, principal counsel and solicitor at C.A. Ogedembe & Co. He's also a member of the Capital Bar Buhari branch here in Abuja. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Counsel, oftentimes we talk about courts and the hierarchy, but there are some viewers out there who might not know that are not lawyers. So to the betterment and understanding of our viewers that are not lawyers and generally, what can you say, what do we mean when we talk about hierarchy of courts in Nigeria? Simple put, what are the hierarchy of courts?
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Before we delve into knowing the meaning of hierarchy of courts, it would be better to first note the two concepts known as hierarchy and courts.
Go ahead, sir.
Hierarchy, by definition, is ranking system ordered according to status or authority.
You're talking about hierarchy now?
Hierarchy, yes.
Okay.
Hierarchy can also be defined as an arrangement according to relative importance or inclusiveness.
So it's a general word that can affect every, not only in law.
Yes.
So hierarchy on its own.
Yes. That is the definition of a
hierarchy.
Now, on the issue of court, let's not forget the issue of, we have courtesan.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
A layman might be confused.
When you mean a layman, non-lawyers?
Yes, of course.
Non-lawyers,
yes.
Okay.
So that is why it is important for us to also define what court is.
Okay.
Court is a body of people or persons before whom judicial cases are brought before in a judicial way. Now, what is hierarchy of courts? Hierarchy of courts in Nigeria means a system where courts in Nigeria are arranged in order of seniority or superiority.
You come again, in order of seniority or superiority. Okay, that's the hierarchy of courts.
Yes, courts are arranged in order of seniority or superiority.
Okay.
Yes. For instance, sir, we have the Supreme Court as the apex court.
You mean the apex, the final?
The final. When you are aggrieved by whatever decision that the Supreme Court will have arrived at,
yes,
the best bet for you to do is to appeal to God.
Because there's no other place to appeal to.
No place again. Yes. That is the last hope. That is the last hope.
Okay, all right.
And after Supreme Court, we have the Court of Appeal.
Okay, the one below the
The one
Supreme
below
Court.
Supreme Court is Court of
Court of
Appeal.
Appeal.
Yes.
Okay, you are descending now from the
Of
high
course,
now to
from
descending.
the high,
Okay, you
yes,
are coming down.
because
So
when we say hierarchy,
Okay.
the highest.
Good,
So
coming
now
down.
we are coming from the topmost.
Yes,
now,
reverse order.
Yes,
All right.
like I said, we have the Supreme Court.
Okay.
We have the Court of Appeal.
Appeal.
We have the Federal High Court.
Okay.
We have the Industrial Court.
Recognizing the Constitution?
Yes.
Okay.
Before now,
Yes.
it was not, but it has been enshrined into the Constitution.
And is a constitutional recognized court?
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
that's great.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
great.
And we have the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory.
Territory.
The truth is that they all have coordinate jurisdiction.
I can't say this is a legal language. What do you mean by coordinate jurisdiction so that non-lawyers will understand?
They have the same powers.
Okay.
The Federal High Court, the Industrial Court, the FCT High Court,
Yes.
they all have the same power
Power. That's what you mean the word
by
coordinate.
coordinate jurisdiction.
So none can override each other.
None in
terms of decisions.
In terms of decisions.
Yes.
Yes.
You can only appeal to
You
a higher
can
one.
only appeal to a high. You cannot appeal. Cannot lie from Federal High Court to state to
Industrial Court.
to Industrial Court.
Okay, that's what I want to
You
get
cannot.
now.
You cannot.
Okay, so viewers, you are there that any aggrieved decision you have from that of Industrial Court, you cannot appeal it to that of Federal High Court. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
It might only
You
go to
cannot.
Court of Appeal.
Court of Appeal.
That's
yes,
right.
uh-huh.
Okay.
And
Then, Council, do we have also Sharia Court? Is it recognized?
I'm good, sir.
Okay.
I'm good, sir. I'm good, sir. We also have Sharia Court of Appeal
Okay.
of FCT.
Okay. Of FCT?
Yes.
Okay.
We have Customary Court of Appeal of FCT. Are you getting me now?
Yes.
Yes. We also have State High Courts.
Okay.
And most importantly is that we also have other courts,
Like customary courts and all that?
like the Magistrate Court
Okay.
in Abuja. When they are attending to civil matters, they call them district courts.
But
in criminal matters,
Yes.
they are magistrates. courts.
okay, so it depends on the issue at stake, or it now changes the nomenclature.
Yes,
but they are still whom they are as magistrate courts.
But in Lagos, it is called magistrate court, whether on civil matters or criminal matters.
Depends on the jurisdiction now.
Yes.
Okay.
We have area courts. We have customary courts. We have
Now, Council, the Sharia Court of FCT just talked about and all
Yes.
that. Are they also? Do you also have branches or whatever jurisdiction in other states or your
Of course,
city? Because when you talked about FCT,
they have in you see the customary court
yes.
is applicable to the Southerners.
Okay, the
customary
South
court.
now.
Why the Sharia court has to do with the northern part of this country.
Okay,
Yes.
so when you talked about FCT, so some viewers might be confused. It's only FCT in Abuja, but it's universal in Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, that's correct. And all these things are recognized in the Constitution.
They are recognized.
No, Council. How do people know which matter to come in the first instance of a court? For example, now election petition, where does it start? Is it from the customary court? Because I know when you bring a matter to a court that has no jurisdiction, it might be fatal. So can you educate our viewers some matters that will come from high courts? Maybe if you are aggrieved, you appeal, and some that will come to Supreme Court, and maybe for a little illustration.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Now let me begin with the Court of Appeal.
Okay.
Court of Appeal is an appellate court. When we say appellate court, it means that they entertain appeals arising from whether Federal High Court, Sharia Court of Appeal,
Even high courts.
High Court, Court of Appeal, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, but when they only have original jurisdiction on matters that have to do with when you are questioning the validity of the office of the president or the vice president. Yes.
Okay, they have that
They have
original
jurisdiction. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it then means when we are talking about other matters, Court of Appeal does not have the original jurisdiction apart from the issue pertaining to that of president.
You cannot walk into Court of Appeal to file a process.
In the original first instance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You cannot. If, for instance, there's a problem between two persons, A and B.
Good.
Now.
Good. Maybe I assaulted you now.
Yes. And if A, who is aggrieved, intends to bring an action,
yes,
he cannot just walk into Court of Appeal.
Okay. Is that
the matter must have gone to High Court, and when High Court exercise jurisdiction into the matter,
yes,
and one of the parties is not happy over the decision, then he can now appeal
to Court of Appeal. That's why you started by saying they entertain appeals from all these lower courts.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That's one example.
Yes. Let me say by section 239, sub 1 of the Constitution as amended.
You will continue with this when we'll come back for break because this is becoming interesting. Please, viewers, please join us again as we join. Hi, you are welcome to another episode of The Speaker, reaching you from ACNN Television here in Abuja. On today's episode, we are going to be looking at the phrase that says justify Nigeria or unjustify Nigeria. My name is Anozechi Nomsu. The word justice simply means a concept on ethics and law which entail that people behave in a way that is fair, equal, and balanced for everyone. It is also the principle of law which promotes that people receive that which they deserve. From this simple meaning or definition of justice, it could be seen that justice is a very wonderful thing. In fact, I dare say, without justice, the existence of life will be meaningless and unpalatable. When justice is justified, peace, love, unity and concord becomes the essence of living. It must be stated that anything short of justice is injustice. This is because if it is not justice, it cannot be like justice. And as such, anything that is unjust cannot be justified. With the current state of affairs in Nigeria, I'm tempted to ask on whether we are living in a justified Nigeria or an unjustified Nigeria. When you look at Nigeria today, you will agree with me that everything that is bad is all happening in Nigeria. Kidnapping, homicide and genocide, man's inhumanity to fellow man, killing of innocent citizens, man's destruction of lives and properties, devaluation of our currency called Naira, intimidation and oppression by influential and political class, chaos and lawlessness, constant disobedience of court orders by some political elites, increased rise on goods and commodities, lack of unconducive environment for investments. The list is endless. I ask again, are we living in a justified Nigeria or an unjustified Nigeria? How can Nigeria explain the gruesome murder of a young Akwa Ibom lady, Miss Inyobong Umere, by a 20-year-old Uduak Franklin who raped her before finally killing and subsequently buried her in a shallow grave? The answer to this is simply and squarely insecurity and lack of job for our youths. Because if the government of the day provides adequate security and maximum employment for job seekers, maybe, just maybe, Inyobong Umeren will be alive today. This can only happen in unjustified Nigeria. Few weeks ago, More than a dozen indigenes of Benue State were massacred and killed in a fresh attack by the Fulani henchmen and bandits. And federal government is yet to pronounce these people as terrorists. All this can only happen in an unjustified Nigeria. It is totally unjust to tax some people who carry no arms or weapons to kill people, or even to kill people at all, as terrorists. Why people who kill and spill blood of innocent citizens on a daily basis are considered as saints? Nigeria indeed seems to have affinity in normalizing abnormalities and abnormalizing normality. In order to justify Nigeria, I therefore speak until the leaders and authorities of Nigeria rise up to the occasion and begin to fight this insurgency and insecurity, begin to dispense justice to those who deserve it by bringing the perpetrators of these atrocities to book. Do everything possible to maintain absolute peace and order, and further ensure that all the guns become silent in this country. We shall continue to have unjustified Nigeria instead of justified Nigeria. My name is Anozie Chinomso. I just want to speak. Hello, glad to know that you are still there, and we are still here with Barrister C.A. Ogudengbe. Barrister, sir, thank you for still remaining here. And before we went for break, you are trying to give us an illustration on the issue of not bringing matter of first instance in court of appeal when A and B maybe had a matter. Yes. It is when maybe one of the parties are aggrieved by the decision of the lower court, he comes. But you're also trying to illustrate there's a particular incident or issue that will make Court of Appeal have original jurisdiction. Yes. Please take it up from there.
Yes. If you go through the Constitution, Section 239, sub 1, has provided original jurisdiction for the Court of Appeal. Okay. And that is whether any person had been validly elected to the office of the President or Vice President.
Okay.
I'm sure you can still remember Buhari
Atiku.
Yes,
a few years
Atiku
back.
was aggrieved. He went to the Court of Appeal.
So he can't go to High Court?
He cannot go to High Court. He cannot go to High Court. Okay. I think there are so many aspects, but there are so few, like whether the terms of office of the President or Vice President has ceased.
It's also original jurisdiction
yes.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
And I think thirdly, whether the office of the Vice President, of the President and Vice President has been vacant. If there's a vacuum
of that office,
yes, you can now approach the Court of Appeal.
Okay.
So you don't need to go to High Court or whatever.
No, Council, suppose I contested for a governor with you in a state,
yes,
and I won, and you are aggrieved by the outcome of that election, that INEC declared me winner. Where will you go to seek a redress?
Fine. That is
in terms of governorship.
That is where election tribunal comes in.
Okay, not even High Court now.
Not even High Court now.
Okay.
Election tribunal. Yes, because it's now a panel. Well, let me call them ad hoc, because the president of the Court of Appeal will now constitute some members of as justices, right, to look at the matter.
So when we talk about tribunal, that's where whether it's senator or whatever, it goes there.
It goes, yes.
Then if they are now aggrieved to appeal, they go to Court of Appeal.
Court of Appeal.
Okay. Why that of the President and Vice? The original court of its president is Court of Appeal.
Court of Appeal.
Then if they are aggrieved, Supreme Court. Then if you are aggrieved, to God.
To God. Almighty.
It's becoming interesting. Now, Council, please. Now, you made mention of industrial court.
Yes.
Can you give us some of the matters that can be taken to industrial court?
Okay.
So that our viewers will understand.
Okay.
Are there some matters?
Yes. When it has to do with labor, employee, employer, the issue of wages of employee, the welfare of employees, right?
Yes.
These are matters even trade union disputes.
Like Jason now that is on
Fine,
strike now,
fine.
that is keeping all of us
Fine.
at home.
Out
They
of
can
now.
seek redress in industrial court.
In industrial court.
No high court. No, it's not high
Not
court.
high court. Not high court. Not high court.
So these are the fundamental issues.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
very much, Council.
Thank you, sir.
Now we have talked about the matters that has original jurisdiction of these matters and all that. Now I remember in the course of the program you talked about transcending from lower court, maybe high court, federal court of appeal, and high court and all that. Now in terms of Supreme Court Council, are there matters that they can entertain on their original jurisdiction?
Yes.
Please
Yes.
enlighten us.
Yes. By section 232, sub 1,
Yes.
dispute between the federation and states or between states, if that dispute involves any question, whether of law or fact, which the existence of a legal right is dependent upon.
So the Supreme Court can now entertain the matter
Yes.
In the original
Yes,
jurisdiction.
yes.
And whatever they decide is final.
It's final.
There is no
It's
appeal.
final. No appeal.
Okay. So
I
when
think that is the
states
only,
are having problem with fellow states,
Fellow
the
states.
first place to go and the final place
It's
is Supreme Court.
Yes.
Then if the federal versus states is also Supreme Court.
It all depends
On
on
the subject matter.
Subject matter, yes.
But
It
if
all
it's states
depends,
and states,
it's sort of, yes.
is
Yeah.
Supreme Court. Thank you very much, sir. Now, we talked about the issue of courts. But oftentimes, Council, you discover that some people, lawyers that didn't do their due diligence and all that, they will bring a matter in a wrong court. Now, what happens? What are the legal consequences when a matter is being brought to a wrong court? For example, you talked about election petition. Instead of me taking it to tribunal, I'm taking it to the high courts or industrial courts. What is the consequence? What is the legal effect on that?
No matter how brilliantly that matter is before that wrong court,
Yes.
it's a nullity.
Oh, is it dead on arrival?
It's dead on arrival. No matter
How
how
beautiful.
beautifully, if you so wish,
Yes.
bring all the evidences.
And all
right?
the senior advocates.
Yes. At the end of the day, when the court does not have jurisdiction, it does not have jurisdiction. You cannot put something on nothing
And expect it.
and
to
expect
stand.
it to stand. Right? Let me give you one illustration. I remember some time ago, I had a matter in Gwagwalada Magistrate Court. That was a period when the FCT magistrate district don't even have much jurisdiction in terms of monetary powers. At the point in time, the chief magistrate can only give or award 250,000 naira as damages or so on any course of issues. I filed a matter, and it was assigned by the chief magistrate. I gave evidence, concluded.
Oh, the trial commenced.
Yes. Gave evidence. We're expecting a judgment. The magistrate called to say he does not have jurisdiction.
Oh, sumoto on their own.
Yes. But it was wrong. It was wrong because when you as a counsel files a matter, what our claim was 130,000. But the senior magistrate claimed that he could only award 100,000 naira.
Okay, slashing the money
Slashing? No, he did not even slash it. If he had even got the opportunity, we would have even abandoned an excess.
Excess.
Right?
Yes.
But it was struck out. But the point I'm trying to make is that the chief magistrate who was in charge of assigning those matters ordinarily would have known the magistrate that has the power to entertain such claims
Yes. Yes.
Not for me as a
Yeah,
council.
as a council.
Yes,
Yes.
to now fish out whether this senior magistrate has the power for, that was how the thing, But the truth is that when it is struck out, it is struck out.
Struck out. So that you were saying that the bottom line is that once you bring a matter to a wrong court, no matter how beautiful it is dead on arrival.
Yes, it will be struck out.
Now we have few minutes to end the program.
To decline jurisdiction,
yes,
the other counsel can make a preliminary objection to say, "Oh, Your Worship, my Lord, that you don't have jurisdiction to entertain this matter." Right?
Yes.
The court itself can suo motu on its own decline jurisdiction. If the man knows that he doesn't have jurisdiction to try.
But the council, where the other council on the other party failed to raise the PO, preliminary objection, can the court so matter also decline jurisdiction?
Yes. If the court is aware that he does not have the power
to entertain the
matter, to entertain any matter, he will decline jurisdiction.
Okay, now council, very quick one before we end because I have a few minutes. Okay. Now, when a matter is being struck, you just talked about the issue of jurisdiction, and the matter is struck out in a court because of want of proper jurisdiction.
Yes.
Now, are there any remedy?
Yes. It is not dismissal.
Okay.
It is not dismissal.
Council, please hold it. Now, is there any difference between striking out and dismissal?
Yes.
What are the differences?
Yes. When a matter is dismissed, it means it has been decided on the merits.
Liars. So it's a final, it has been determined.
Yes, it means, you can only go on appeal. Right ahead.
Yes.
But when it is struck out, what it's saying is that we don't have the power to try this matter. Go elsewhere. Go to the appropriate court that has the power to adjudicate over such matter.
So it's not dismissal.
It's not
just
dismissal.
Go and put your house in order and go to a proper court.
Yes.
So there's a remedy.
There's a remedy. Okay. And that's a good remedy.
That's a good remedy.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Council. We really want to appreciate you for coming, and I pray that when next we call you, you'll be able to come. Now, quickly, what is your advice to the viewers? I mean, maybe what is your advice, or what can you tell the viewers out there?
Well, you don't take the laws into your hands. Even when we are seeing different things in litigation, especially now we have been at home for
almost 1 month.
Yes, almost 1 month. But the best solution is to be civilized. How will you be civilized? Is to approach the appropriate courts.
How will you be civilized is for you to approach the appropriate court. We've just heard it from Barrister C.A. Ogidembe. Thank you once again for coming.
Thank you, sir.
It remains a statement of facts that the judicial powers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is vested in the courts and provided for in Section 6, subsection 1 and subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. These courts are courts of superior courts, while some are courts of coordinate jurisdiction as we understood in a horizontal scale. They can also be ranked in a vertical scale, showing courts that are superior to the other in terms of decisions. In all of this, the most fundamental thing we must go home with is that a higher court can hear appeal from a court below it and can also vary the decisions made in error by the lower court. Always remember that there are matters which some of these courts entertain in their first and original jurisdiction, as we discussed. This is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of Justify Nigeria. Join us same time, same station on another fresh episode of the program. Until then, this is Anos Echelonso urging you to take advantage of courts in Nigeria in settling your disputes. And bye for now. When one is horrible, it means that there is nothing that is objectively good and progressive that will come out of such individual.
If you have been convicted of an offense before and you have been pardoned, and anybody is trying to bring that up against you and calling you a convict, you have the power to sue that person for defamation.
Justice must not only be done, but it must be seen by all to have been manifestly done.